What's good, family? It's Isiah Anderson Jr. I'm here at Axe on Stage where I'm preparing and rehearsing for our new production, Detroit 67. But before I do that, I get to interview one of my most special guests ever. It is my dad, Mr. Isiah Anderson Sr. Going on, sir?
All right, all right.
Now, it is really special to have you here today to talk with me today. The truth is, we talk every day. But today, I get to share with you all who he is to me, who I am to him, and the work that I do here at Axe on Stage. You ready for this conversation?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Senior, tell me how you feel about being here talking with me today on the set of Detroit 67.
It's exciting to me. I've never actually been on stage with you before, so it's exciting. I'm really excited.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Now, this show we're doing is set in three places. It's set in the Midwest, Detroit to be specific, 1967, and inside a black family. And all three of those I know you're familiar with. So let's start with the Midwest. Now, I know you're not originally from the Midwest, right? I was raised in Illinois, but you're from Mississippi. And I found out early today that you moved from Mississippi to Illinois at age 20, which is the same age I was when I left Illinois to move to Seattle. So tell me about how was it for you in 1967 growing up from the Midwest?
Well, for me, it was like the weather. Mm-hmm. The weather. I wasn't used to the weather in Illinois. You know, Illinois got that bone-chilling weather.
Yeah.
But wasn't too bad,
Yeah. So Mississippi, that's right. Y'all had the weather that never got below 60.
There you go.
Yeah, right. So I did the same thing. I experienced the same thing moving here. Let's go to 1967. Growing up in an era where Motown was hot, right? But we're also talking about a time when racial disparities were at their highest. What were some moments that you remember growing up in that era?
Well, racialism with me was from when I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. So I was in Mississippi, and that was it. When I moved to Illinois, I'm thinking it was going to be much different. After I was there for a while, I realized that it was basically the same. Only thing in Mississippi, they showed it. They talked it out to you. But in Illinois, they sugarcoated it.
What we call blanket racism. And that still exists today. Blanket racism still exists today. We walk and talk amongst one another, and there's still that racial tension that some people would rather hide than to put out front. Lastly, in 1968, you were about 25 years old. I was three or four. But back then, that Motown music was kicking off. What were some of your memories with the music, and who were some of your favorite artists?
See, I grew up on basically the blues. Mm-hmm. Then when Motown came out with the Temptations and the OJs and all of them, the Temptation was my favorite group because the Temptation, they had their own style.
Yes.
They danced, they dressed, they had the hair, had good hair like I had back then. That's the reason I just loved the Temptation. But there was others like James Brown, the OJs, Spinners,
Yes.
all of those.
Yes, all of those artists are fantastic. What's wonderful for me is, and I love music, and I think I got it from you, both you and my mom, and the era in which I grew up. But the fact that I get to infuse all that music into this show is, now there's some songs that's written in already, but I get to take some liberties and just get to do all the songs that I love. So it's some of the intermissions, and it's going to be great. So I love the music of that era because it's timeless. They tell stories. It is timeless. I love it. So with all those groups being out at that time and coming out at that time, how was it and what did it feel like for you, a young black man in a community, to see on the screen the Temptations, the Supremes, little Stevie Wonder? What did that do for the pride of the community?
It did a whole lot to me because, wasn't too many black peoples actually on TV during that time. But to see them, the Temptations and James Brown, the OJs and all of those, and Stevie Wonder and all of them, it just did my heart good.
Yes, yes. Gave that energy we needed at that time. And today, I still need it. So I'll listen to some of those songs, and it gives me just that good feeling. Speaking of feeling, there was in the show, the two main characters, the brother and sister, are trying to leave a legacy. They want to leave a legacy for the family. What is the legacy you want to leave for your family?
I would like to leave this legacy that I've worked hard all of my life. And I know no young person wants to work hard anymore. They want that easy job.
Yes.
Whatever job you get, just make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Do the best you can do with whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. That's.
I love it. I love it. And that's a legacy. I also know personally that a part of the legacy you want to leave is that we're always a family. Whether it's blood or not, you create and have created space for us to remain family. You don't like that people live in the same town but don't see each other except on a holiday. And so you create holidays at the house that don't exist elsewhere so that we can always remain family. And so I appreciate that, and I love that. And so that is also a part of my legacy, is that I leave a family of individuals who, whether they're blood or not, are connected. Yes. Okay, so for the last 25 plus years, you've been coming to Seattle to see the production of the Teen Summer Musical that I was doing. It was at the Paramount Theater, and then we've been everywhere. And then of late, you've been coming to acts on stage. You've been coming here to see some of the show. You fly up just to see some of the shows. Tell me, why is that important for you to come all this way to see some of these productions?
Because this is something that you've always wanted to do in your life. That's just part of you. You used to dance and sing, and then you come to Illinois and get a job that you're able to do that as part of your job. So it's just important to me that I wants to be here whenever I can. I think the first show I came to was in 1998, where they flew me in, sneaked me up the back elevator and crossed the floor and everything into a room. Said for you come running in, pass by me, go in the next room, realize that was me, said, no, come back, don't come to me, run back out the door.
Because I was that surprised that you had come. I couldn't believe it, first of all, that they had hit it so well. And I'm in show mode, getting ready for the show. But that you were there was unforgettable. It was great. And I get the same feeling every time you come to every show. It means that much to me. And I do believe that after every show, after every Teen Summer Musical, I make it a point to go back home to celebrate your birthday, because your birthday is September 1st. And so I'm there to celebrate you. And that's important to me because I need you to know how much I love you and how much I appreciate our relationship, and that I get to do for you that I so wanted to do for my mom. But I know she is looking down and is happy that we are sharing this together. We've always had a relationship. It was always known. I was always knowing who my father was, and had always heard only high things about him. My mom used to say, "Oh, your dad's memory is incredible. If I tell him I need a ride to work in June of this year, and on a certain day, I ain't got to call him no more ever, and he'll show up next June at that time to pick me up." So I've always known of this great guy in the community, but circumstances sometimes don't allow us to always be able to connect. And especially as a child, I didn't know a lot of things that you've shared with me of late. I didn't learn some stuff until I was 40, and then some stuff until I was 50. And then some stuff when I was 55, I'm like, what, really? That, relationships can occur in other ways that will prevent us from having the relationship, the traditional father-son relationship. But I always knew who you were and where you were. That was never anything hidden. I think what happened was when I moved to Seattle, 9 months prior to moving to Seattle, I moved in with you.
Yeah.
And I had never lived with you. And so here I am, a 19-year-old kid moving in with his dad for the first time, and I'm blown away by, I'm seeing what you do. I'm seeing some of your gestures and your movements. I'm seeing how you dress. I'm looking at all of that and going, that's where I got that from. That's where I got that from. Okay, I like this because of that. I love old cars because you loved old cars. That you would come pick me up and take me to your motorcycle club and hang out with your friends, and I would go over to the house and watch you build bars and beds and do upholstery. All of that stuff stuck with me. I do what I do here at Acts on Stage. I am good with my hands. I build, I repair, I do all of that because I watched you do all of that. I remember when I first moved to Seattle, our conversations were few and in between. We would call each other on the phone, and I do believe the conversations went like this. Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. You? I'm good. How's everybody there? Oh, they good. They good. There? Oh, everybody good. All right then. Okay, well, I was just calling to see how you doing. And we'd get off the phone. And a lot of times it would be like, oh, I'm going to come to Seattle. I was like, he ain't never coming to Seattle. And though you had never come, when you came at the right time. When you came at the right time. It was all God. It was all God's plan that you come when you were supposed to come in the time that he needed you to be here for me. And it was when I lost mom.
Yes.
It was when I lost mom. And so if you just want to talk about it a little bit, I still remember calling you. And I know I woke you up because it was in the middle of the night. And you answered the phone and I said, hey, mom died in a car accident. And I could hear something in your voice, didn't know what it was, but I just wanted you to know, and we got off the phone. But if you just wanted to share a little bit about that before I move on to the upper.
No, when he first came to live with me, he had a job, and his job was about It's a good ways away. It wasn't a long way. It's not like driving from where he lived now to Seattle, but it was a good ways. And he stayed there with a young lady. He would come back in the morning time all the way to Joliet to pick up another lady to bring her back to the job and be late. I said, "What's that? You already at the job. Just go to the job. She could get her another ride." But it was him. He would be sleeping in the bed, and he was working at the nursing home. In the bed, sleep. So I said, "You got to do something different." But it was always one thing about him when he used to come over to the house. This was before he came to live with me. He would come over to the house, and I loved to hear him sing. And he used to dance all the time. He always danced. I used to love to hear him sing. But if I was around, they wouldn't sing. You know, none of the kids, they wouldn't sing. So I would let them start singing. I'd go outside, and then I'd sneak back, and I could hear him sing. You know, I couldn't see him, but I could hear him sing. I've always loved to hear him sing. Still love to hear him sing. When he come home now, he know that he's got to sing a song at church for me that Sunday. You know, I love to hear him. Would love to hear him sing more, but I don't push but one song. You know.
Well, Senior, I want to thank you so much. It means a lot that you are here. You take off tomorrow morning. So thank you for spending your last day here with me at the theater in this really important conversation for me. That has been my interview with my dad, Mr. Isiah Anderson Sr. And I want you guys to know that Acts on Stage is going to continue doing the work we do. This next production of Detroit 67 is something you have to come see. You have to come see it. It is going to be an extraordinary show with extraordinary music and wonderful acting and a great story. So come on out. For more information, click the link in our bio, and we'll see you when we see you. Peace and God bless.